So, this video is intended for those who are either reaching a breaking point in their life, are feeling like they enjoy their life, but maybe could get more out of it, or feel like the current life that they have is not truly in alignment with how they want to be, how they thought that they would be spending their life. And for those who simply have this strong desire within them to change absolutely everything about the way that they have been existing thus far. So, whether you're actually struggling with the life that you have right now, whether you're struggling with your state of being, or whether you're quite content but just think that your life should be different, this video is for you. So let's begin with a little bit of a backstory. About 2 years ago now, yeah, I think 2 years ago now, I had a total breakdown of my sense of self. I realized that the life that I was living was not what I wanted. It was not up to my standard. Absolutely everything in it was not resonating with me. As I feel like it has been a similar theme with quite a lot of other people, obviously, post the global events that have been occurring in the prior 3 years to that. And actually, during those global events, which I don't know if I'm able to name in order to not get downshifted by the YouTube algorithms. But I hope you know which events I'm talking about, the like global issue that has been happening. During that time, I was actually a counseling therapist as well. So when I went into my personal deconstruction journey, I would call it, I was already kind of prepared and equipped with a lot of the tools and quite a lot of the knowledge of what would be required of me in order to build my life back up. As I already had some experience helping other people build their lives back up, at least in some aspect of their reality that they were feeling um, down in. Hence, now that I have all of that experience behind my back, in addition to personally going through a massive journey of totally demolishing my old life and building a new life for myself, I kind of came to not an algorithm, but a system of how to reinvent yourself efficiently. And now I would like to simply share this system with you in hopes that maybe it will encourage you to change something about your life and use it on a smaller scale, or it will give you something to hold on to and refer to if you are already in the process of demolishing everything that you have built beforehand. So in this video, I will do my best to optimize the system that I'm proposing by breaking it down into generalized steps. Of course, I would love to be able to personalize them for each individual, but because this is meant to be flexible for different kinds of people in different situations to use, the steps that I will give might appear quite general, but once you start applying them, you will see what I mean in the steps that I say and why they are arranged in the way that they are arranged. So, yeah, just take the steps, maybe write them down, note them somewhere for yourself, maybe put them into a nice visual system for yourself, and go through the questions that I'm proposing at each step as you are following the journey, or maybe like prior to the journey and then during the journey coming back to the system in order to essentially guide yourself. So this, in short, this is a video instruction guide. And actually, now that we're on the topic of guides, I have created quite a few free resources that you can use to also guide yourself. You will find them in the link down below. Some of them are just fillable PDF workbooks. Some of them are just PDF guides to read. And there's also, I think if I have linked it, a free Telegram chatbot that you can use to help yourself, to assist yourself and guide yourself on this journey of either demolishing your old life or building a new life back up, and how to kind of coordinate and manage yourself throughout it. So yeah, go to the link down below to actually look at all of the free stuff that I have created, because I was creating it precisely for this type of journey. So I would appreciate it if you found it helpful. And if this is your first time on the channel, hi there, my name is Maria. I'm so glad to see you here. Welcome to Life Spirals, my darling humanoids, androids, reptiloids, asteroids, or whatever way you like to identify yourself. Everybody is welcome here, and I hope that you find this helpful. So let's just jump into it. So, as the first step of this journey of building a new life for yourself, what you want to do, of course, is assess and analyze the life that you already have, the life that you have been living thus far. Because, especially if your situation is dire, of course, there might be a desire to just absolutely erase everything from your previous life, but you might want to hold on a second. Because if you are still living the old life, there's actually quite a few steps that you can take in order to better equip yourself and prepare for the new life that you're planning to live. So while you are assessing the life that you're living currently, obviously look at what is serving you, what is not serving you. Look at what are the things that you would like to see in your future as well, to see carry on and continue interacting with, and what are some of the things that you see are not helpful for you, are not actually supposed to be in your life, or are deemed in general unhealthy. And those things that are definitely detrimental to you, detrimental to your well being, detrimental to your productivity, detrimental to your health, obviously, first step is we want to just trash those. Take them, put them into the bin, yeah? Then things that are detrimental to you, but you can't just easily erase from your life, or you see at least some potential use in, we want to take those and use those as leverage to build our new life. And because the easiest way to build any type of life that you want in our capitalist society is money, essentially anything that you don't want to see in your future, but that still brings you an income currently, what you want to do is you want to take it and try to build a passive income on top of it. Or essentially take any of the resources that you have and start saving them up, optimizing them, structuring them in some way so that they are actually able to support and facilitate your journey of building the new life that you imagine to yourself in the next steps. So we can call this step essentially decluttering, where you take all of the trash and the clutter out of your life and leave only the things that can be potential resources or things that you actually want to take further down the journey with you. And just a quick tip along with this step for those who are not just unsatisfied with their current life, which otherwise is quite decent, but for those who are actually in a state of mental distress and are at a place of especially a loss of a sense of purpose in their life or a loss of a sense of self as a whole, as I have been, the best way to, at least temporarily, get yourself out of feeling like trash is to help other people. And this is actually a great tip, especially because when you help other people, you tend to develop new skills that will actually help you further down the line, along with developing empathy and obviously getting to know people who you might have not actually gotten in contact with otherwise. So when I say helping other people, obviously help your neighbors, help your friends, and things like that. But in this step, what I really mean is doing things like volunteering, charity work, and just helping those people who you might actually not know, or those communities and individuals who are not actually a part of the old life. So yeah, if you feel like your life is meaningless, you have lost all motivation in life, you have lost any sense of purpose, the first thing you want to start doing to actually even get yourself motivated to declutter your old life is go and do some volunteering, help somebody, because trust me, this sense of feeling useful for some purpose, and especially useful in a direct way that makes it obvious how you have actually helped someone, maybe like went to a shelter to help people, maybe like went to work with some children, stuff like that. That gratification that you get from helping others will give you the motivation to keep going, at least initially. Then in the second step, you want to assess what is it that you are actually going towards. So before you actually embark on the journey, it's good to set a goal or a name for yourself. And not just a goal that is like for the next week or for the next day, but a genuine vision of what is it that you are trying to build. So for a bit more information on how to do this and some steps that I think could be relevant in this assessment, go to my previous video. I think it's going to be linked somewhere up here. But essentially what you want to do is to just let your imagination run wild and think of what to you is the definition of your dream life. What to you is the perfect image, the perfect picture of what your life could be like? Or look at other people and kind of analyze what you see in other people as indicators of their success or their satisfaction with what they have. So, not the social identifications of what success means, like having lots of money, having Lamborghinis and stuff like that, but like, what do you see in other people as things that make them fulfilled in life in your perception? Then also assess and analyze what are just some of the things that you don't necessarily see as maybe like a part of your future, but what has been getting your curiosity thus far? So, what are some topic areas that have been maybe tickling your curiosity bone, but you never actually went deeper into exploring and studying because they just, once again, were not relevant for your old life? Here, once again, we're building a new life. So anything that you have always wanted to try, always wanted to do, always wanted to study, write all of those things down as well. And then go back to the image that you had of somebody living a perfect life and imagine what would that person actually be like? What would be their traits? What would be their lifestyle? What would be their daily, weekly, monthly routine? What would they be occupied with? And just dive into the details of what that perfect visionary life would actually be in the practical sense. What would be the skills that that person would have? What would they do as their hobbies? What would their relationships with others be like? And so on and so forth. And the main thing, as always, in the step is to not get attached to that last final image, because in the next, third step, what you will do is start actually testing and trialing all of those ideas and assessments that you have done thus far. So in order to actually facilitate this testing stage, once again, go to my previous video and try to establish what I called in that video, an agile lifestyle, so that you actually create space in your life to try and test and do all of the different things that have been piquing your curiosity up to this point. And then, yeah, just once again, start testing different personalities, start playing around with how you appear in the world, start trying to interact with communities, people, and situations and environments that the old you would not have interacted with. And in general, try to just do as much experimentation as possible, especially once you have actually gotten to a point of optimizing the resources from your previous life enough to allow yourself to get yourself some more freedom, some free time away from all of the old stuff that you have trashed. So, in the next fourth step, as we're slowly getting out of the stage of just experimentation and testing identities, first of all, you will obviously have to go back and consistently reiterate what you see as that perfect image of what your perfect life would be like. But after you have done enough experimentation, there's probably at least a theme or a general topic that you realize is the one relevant to the new you. So, once again, in the first step, what you want to do is find communities of people, places, and things that are already living around that type of lifestyle that you think, thus far at least from your analysis, you would want to build for yourself in the future. And as you get closer to the communities and actually try to interweave yourself into them, of those people who are already living the lifestyle that you aspire to live, try to really carefully observe them and learn from them. Seek out who are the kind of quote unquote most successful, most accomplished individuals in those interest areas and analyze what lifestyle are they living and once again, compare it with your own sense of what resonates with you or doesn't resonate with you. Like, when you look at the successful people in that field or in that area or in that lifestyle, is the reality of their life and the elements of their reality, especially the ones that are most relevant to what it is that they have that you only aspire to have, would the reality of that lifestyle actually be satisfactory to you? Really try to do like a mental experiment here. Like, can you imagine yourself living the life of all of those people that you are now getting close to and close enough to actually see the kind of backstage of what that success in that lifestyle entails? And are you actually ready to live the backstage aspect of that lifestyle as well as the kind of front facing image of what success in that type of lifestyle would be like? I hope that that sentence made sense. I feel like I made that way too long than necessary, but you know what? As always, as I said in the previous video and in the video before that, we spiral. This is why this channel is called Life Spiral, so take that and accept it. And what you actually want to do in parallel to this assessment of the aspirational lifestyle is actually build a new support system for yourself as well. So, whether it is people from your old lifestyle that are not detrimental to you in pretty much any way, and you have decided that they're actually okay and you definitely want to see in the future of your life, or whether it is people who are not at all related to your old lifestyle and not related to your new lifestyle either. Just like find people that are as neutral for you as possible, that are at the same time just ready to be there for you, make space for you, and support you as you are on your journey. So actually, it's best if they're not related to either your old lifestyle or your new lifestyle, and are just like, you know, a pleasant crowd and community of individuals who you can go to kind of take a break, to distract yourself a little bit in a healthy way. So don't go out like partying and drinking and stuff like that. I'm sorry, but I will never encourage that. Actually, I really, really actively discourage that. So when I say distract yourself, I mean like go to a gallery, go to a museum, go do some sports, go to the gym. Like, actually helpful things like that that feed your soul, really. So yeah, find a community of people who are doing things and can get you to do things that will just really nourish and feed your soul and will help you to cleanse yourself as you are on this path to building your new lifestyle. And then step number 5, as you're doing all of those things, I really highly advise finding a way to track your journey in a way that also allows you to make your own tracking system in some way helpful for others. So this is what I have kind of done with the guides that I have created and the free resources and stuff like that. Maybe along with you tracking your journey, you come across a lot of different websites and books that help you on your path. So what you would want to do is maybe like create a list of all of those books and resources that you have found helpful. Maybe there is like courses that you do. Maybe there's teachers that you study with, things like that. Or maybe there's, once again, systems that you create on your path, just as I have. So find a way to track your path efficiently enough to then take the knowledge and the wisdom extracts from it to then relate to somebody else and teach to somebody else, or in a way that just helps you express yourself on this journey. So maybe you don't actually systematize things by like writing them down and doing guides and things that I do, for example, but maybe you track your journey with the artwork that you create. So maybe um unrelated to your old life or your new life, you have always been into like art or music or dance or drama. So as you're going through this path, just maybe you do like a big art piece or a performance piece every month or so that really expresses how this current stage of you reinventing yourself makes you feel. So just like find a way to track and express this journey. Because trust me, at the end of it all, you will be very, very grateful that while you were going through it, you have actually created something that just, brings more beauty and joy into this world that we all exist in. In a way, this is also like kind of helping the world around you as you're helping yourself, which in my eyes is just beautiful. And then step 6, which is kind of related to the previous step, is that you want to consistently go back and reiterate what that aspirational lifestyle, what is that goal that you are actually striving for and you are trying to get to. So, as I've already said multiple times, this is why it's kind of good to use tools like journaling, writing, and like creating systems for yourself, is because it really allows you to go back to the original idea and the origins of why you started and reassess like how far have you gone, what have you accomplished, what have you done, what have you realized, and whether that goal that you have built on your previous foundation, that like initial image that you have built to yourself, whether that still resonates with you at the stage of this reinvention process that you are in. And as simple as this step is, once again, I have a system for how to do it efficiently. But the thing is, of course, I could just put that system in a guide, but that wouldn't be the most efficient way of conveying that system. And that is actually why I have been trying to make an app to actually do this whole like tracking and goal setting process in the best way possible. An app that I would call like a life management system, you know, but because I'm having to do this alongside all of the other things, all of the other projects that I'm creating at the moment and my main job and everything like that, it's going kind of slowly and I'm coming across a lot of hiccups in this app app building process because I'm not originally an app developer. I'm just learning to create apps. So, you know, just if this app sounds like something that might interest you or just something that you would like to contribute to the creation of, there's also a link to my Patreon down below because, you know, like what I'm really trying to do right now is collect enough resources to actually pay somebody to finish building the app for me, although I have already done all of the user interface aspects and like most of the UX as well. I'm not that good with the back end of apps. So it would really be really, really cool if I was able to hire a backend developer. But for that, once again, I need resources. So if you want to kind of help me gather the resources that are required to actually hire a professional developer, yeah, just, you know, go and donate to the Patreon because that would really help a lot to bring this hopefully amazingly helpful project into life. Or you know what? If you're a backend developer yourself and you just have like some spare time on your hands, and especially if you're a backend developer on Flutterflow, reach out to me and message me. And especially like if you're willing to do some of the work for free until I actually gain enough resources to pay you, just yeah, reach out, please help. Or just if you know a lot about Flutterflow, also please reach out. This is a cry for help. But yeah, now to get away from the spiral into me trying to pitch this up, the last step, the seventh step on this journey, on this process, is to also assess how would that life that you're building for yourself, that future you, how do they feed into the larger scale of life on this planet? And in my eyes, you know, this is really the most crucial step and one that a lot of people seem to miss, is considering how does the end goal that you're striving for, what is the larger impact that it is going to have on the world, on the people around you, on the nature around you? You know, like if anything, this is actually partially why I think that capitalism is failing as hard as it is because people have created all of these goals of what they want to achieve, but they never took a second to consider what would be the fallout of them actually achieving those goals, or what would be the fallout of the processes that they use in order to achieve the goals that they want to achieve. So, yeah, this is the most important step actually, and this is also a way to kind of create purpose behind this new life that you're building. Is once again, look at the larger impact of the future that you are trying to build. And if there's a way that you can come up with the new identity and new self that you're building to actually majorly benefit the world, to if there's a way for you to interlace your own building up process and your final dream vision of your life with the dream of what you think the most perfect, beautiful existence for the planet as a whole would be, for society as a whole would be, if there's a way for you to kind of negotiate between your own personal ego desires and aspirations and what is best for the world as a whole, that would, yeah, just really give you the drive to actually achieve what it is that you're setting out to achieve. Because, it is fun to pursue your own personal drives and desires, but you will always hit a point where you start to question, but what am I actually doing all of this for? And this is exactly why you want to create this deeper, larger scale purpose behind what it is that you're doing. So, in a way, I could put it as also when you envision the future life that you want to have, alongside that, also envision what is the perfect world that you would actually like to live in? What is the perfect world that you would like your children to exist in? And how can the new self, the new life that you're building, become a facilitator, a forth bringer, a creator of that new, more beautiful earth, that new, more beautiful existence? And as some people in the spiritual community call it, Gaia. And this is actually another thing, is that like even people in the spiritual community, they talk about this concept of Gaia, the new earth, the new planet, but I feel like people don't really dive into what is Gaia. Like, yeah, it's a world where everybody loves each other, there's peace, there's no war, blah 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 blah. But it's like, what are the realistic aspects, the grounded aspects? Like, what is the day-to-day life in that beautiful 5D earth, in that Gaia? Like, what do people do for their lifestyle? And actually, a little bit of a teaser for a video that I'm planning to make as well, because I have been in the spiritual community for quite a while. Even while I was still like in my old life, I was already in the spiritual community and into all of that stuff. So, as somebody who is also an architect, an engineer, stuff like that, planner, a consultant, and like just, jack of all trades, I feel like I have quite a good image, at least in my mind, a visual of what that like ultimate future of the earth could be like in a very realistic and grounded sense, and how to actually get from where we are right now to that like future optimal utopian, well, not really utopian, because once again, in reality utopia is impossible, but just like the optimal state of the planet that we can get to. So you know what, watch out for me releasing that video as well, because it's probably going to be a large one, or it's probably going to be a series, because I don't know what would be the best format to actually demonstrate all of the intricate details that are required to be considered to actually build the most optimal outcome for society and humanity and the planet as a whole. But yeah, just watch out for what I'm creating. And actually also, if you want to support that as well, just me creating things and kind of helping you guys visualize what the most beautiful future could be like, and how we could all play into it with our own personal purposes and lives, or just in general, if you want to support this channel, go to my Patreon once again and donate. I would really, really appreciate that. But yeah, that's that. Quite a simple system, as you can see. Literally only has 7 steps to it, because in those 7 steps there are so many processes, there are so many things to consider, and so many microsystems that are involved, that once again you can kind of get some information on by watching my previous videos, by once again going to the main tap link down below and going through all of the guidebooks and the resources that I've tried to provide. But besides all of those details, I hope that this kind of wider angle view of the system makes sense to you. And I hope that you try to apply it for yourself, you start to question yourself, the life that you already have, the life that you're actually striving for, and that you find this helpful once again. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed as well. I hope I didn't get you lost on any of the aspects, because once again, I know I tend to spiral, but what do you expect from a channel that is called Life Spirals? But the most important thing, obviously, at the end of all of this information and all of this stuff and all of the assessments, is to really just try to enjoy yourself. Try to really be present throughout this whole path and get the most out of every single second that you are going through this. try to make the most of this existence at all times. So, yeah, good luck with that. Hope you enjoy your day, your week, your month, your year, and your life, and your ability to perceive this existence. So, yeah.